The #1 reason people go to therapy is loneliness. It seems so surprising to hear that.
It's depressing to hear that, too.
That's depressing right there. It's 1 out of 4 people say they have no one they can share their problems or concerns with.
Well, that might surprise you, might break your heart a little bit. It's all the more reason we should deepen the connections that we have with other people in our life. Studio 5 relationship coach Dr. Matt Townsend is here. He's been studying this. It's sad to think about, but it's more than just the sadness and emptiness that comes from loneliness.
It'll kill you. It really will. It is. So you just talked about ice cream. You think ice cream will kill you? No, loneliness. 1 in 4. So they did a study. 25% of people out there say they don't have a best friend to turn to.
1 in 4.
1 in 4 humans on this crazy ball of mud don't have a close connection that they can turn to.
Even so, like with spouses and stuff, they still 1 out of 4 still.
So think about what that does. And they've actually found other studies about the fact that not having someone to connect to is just like, it's the equivalent, it's a parallel to being a smoker, to being out of shape, to being to working a dangerous job, in how it impacts your longevity. People who have social contacts and connections increase their longevity by 50%. You'll live 50% longer, I guess, than your normal span would be if you are able to connect to people.
And here's the headline for me. It's not that these people are living alone. Just because you're alone.
You're filled with people in your life.
Right. It's like that Josh Groban, Michael Bublé song, I don't know, that you're in this crowd. But you're in this crowded room, you still feel alone. So very likely people in our lives who have spouses or who have families or even have friends could be feeling pretty lonely.
No, absolutely. In fact, and we all kind of do. We kind of rotate it through. So we have to learn how to be really effective with social connection. A lot of us are really great in our jobs. We do a lot of fun stuff, but actually connecting to another human being, we're not so good at. So we want to give you some tools, of course, to give you a leg up. Okay, first key, by the way, you know you're wired to connect. You know that, right? From birth, your body is wired to be a social animal. There's a lot of stuff we pick up. There's a lot of information we're tracking on. So here's one of the first keys. Focus on quality of relationships, not quantity. The problem with Facebook is it's got us pushing out this idea that the more friends, the better. Not true. We know on Facebook about 340 friends is all you need. Actually less than that. The fewer the friends you have, the actual higher the quality your relationships get with the people. So don't go for quality or quantity, go for quality. And what that literally means is, did you know that humans have this thing called mirror neurons, where if I watch another person, I actually start to mirror what they're doing. For example, have you ever seen somebody trip? And when they trip, you startle?
Yeah.
Why would you startle when they're tripping? Because your body is mirroring them. That's part of this human connection. So a little homework assignment for everyone out there. Start thinking about your friends. And I want you to make a list of your top 3 to 5 people you care the most about, that you really want to connect to. And I want you to make sure you have 3 to 5 people that are quality friends. If you don't, then we're going to start trying to figure out ways to get in and bring them in. Quality means you can share stuff with them. They mirror you well. Okay, they're attuned to you. They can tell when you're sad. These are the ones that come up and actually say, you seem different, what's wrong? Those are the ones that are mirroring into you pretty well. So homework assignment, go try and find 3 to 5 and start thinking about those that are maybe on the verge that you could push up to a better relationship, and then you run some of these other ideas through, okay? Second, exercise your compassion. If you don't attune into others and use your mirroring, you're not gonna learn to be a very good mirror. But they found from very young, all animals, even, I mean, primates and humans, we're all like, we all have this ability to read another human, and especially compassion. Compassion, they found, is actually contagious. There's a great TEDx talk, if you guys are into those. Go find a TEDx talk by Dr. Emma Seppala. She's a PhD from Stanford University, and she's aggregated all this research about compassion. Did you know that if I do a compassionate act for you, the research now shows that that act will actually be carried 2 to 3 different iterations or generations. So if I do something for you nice today, your mom's friend could actually be impacted.
No.
Because your compassion you will take, and then that will spread.
Yeah.
So it's a spreading thing, but you've got to exercise it. One of the best ways I've ever found to exercise compassion is to think about it. So think about those 3 to 5 people that you want to have relationships with, and get them in your head and ask yourself, what's it like to be them? And just start thinking about it. What's it like to be them with their kids on this day, and they have to go to work, and start exercising it. As a human, you can actually start to create a resonance with them. And that feeling is this compassion.
And so compassion is something, you know, because I actually had a friend once, and it was so interesting because she said to me, I don't feel like I'm a compassionate person. I don't feel like I, you know, innately, and she was kind of referring to it in terms of her mothering abilities, but is compassion something you can learn and you can develop?
Absolutely. I mean, again, if monkeys can do it, your friend can do it. She just doesn't know what she's feeling is compassion. Compassion is your ability to watch another person. By the way, compassion is the ability to have this empathy. Compassion is to see somebody else that's hurting. They found that little kids, and you've probably seen it with your own children, when you're crying and your baby looks up and starts to emote, they're reading you, they're reacting to you. So even from very young ages, I bet you bucks, she does it more than she thinks.
Homework assignment first is we're trying to see who can read us. Second assignment is we're trying to see who we can read other people.
And start to try to build that up and then go act on that compassion. Third is let others serve you, and you serve others. Service is inherent. So some of the research they've done on rats, they found out that a rat, when a rat sees another rat in trouble, that rat will have a mirroring and will go start to try to serve that rat in trouble. If you've ever seen like a little 2-year-old, then you're trying to carry all this stuff, all the laundry up, and you're dropping laundry, the 2-year-old will get up and go across the room and start picking up stuff for you. Service is also inherent, but a lot of us turn it off. We choose not to serve because to serve means we're obligated more, so we actually think ourselves out of it. So instead of trying to think yourself out of serving other people, just serve. When you get that instinct to go do something, go and do it. So your homework assignment is ask yourself the question, what's the most important thing I could do today for one of these 3 to 5 people? To show them I care. And then I guarantee you, your conscience will prompt you with an idea.
But I like also you're reminding us of the other side of that, and that is to let other people serve you. That can be really hard, Matt, for women, because they are constantly kind of giving and nurturing other people to let someone actually in and help them for once.
And the interesting thing is, for example, if I smile at you, even if you don't smile back, me smiling at you because you're a mirroring animal, your mouth will actually start to communicate to the smile part of your brain. So you're actually loosening up the muscles for a smile, which is just as effective really as having you smile.
I love that.
So me smiling at you actually impacts you even if you don't smile back. And then remember, 2 to 3 iterations. So whether you smile or not, the outcome's not the important thing. The means to that outcome is better. So I'm going to smile to you no matter what. I'm going to serve you, which will get the servedness going in others. Next one, perform a smile study. Meaning, try today, try all day long, smile at everyone you know. Smile at everyone. Smile at everyone you know, and just see a couple things. Number 1, see if you see reciprocation. Are they smiling back? Don't tell anyone you're doing it, but smile, 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 and then just notice what you feel at the end of the day.
Your cheeks will hurt, number 1.
Number 1, your face will hurt, your makeup will be a mess.
I know how that works.
But watch what will happen. You'll just feel better because you're smiling. It's contagious. They cannot. So by the way, smile is the safest connection we can make. Our eyes widen up. Little babies open their eyes open wider with their adults, the adult parents and caretakers. Then when the caretaker leaves the room, they close their eyes a little bit more. When they open them, so it's this form of endearing because they know we mirror them. We're going to love them and get closer. Last rule: up the touch. We usually touch down. I want touch up. That sounds weird. I want you to up the touch. One of the greatest connections is touch, and it doesn't have to be the kind Brooke always thinks about.
Oh, stop it.
It could just be touch, Brooklyn.
Okay.
I'm just sick of it.
I'll try to think that way.
Just touch. Sometimes a high five, but touch your kids more, a little. Sometimes too, if you're not getting a lot of movement by talking a lot, just touch with the person, and the touch a lot of times carries a lot more power than words ever will. Words are kind of overrated, especially for guys.
Yeah, exactly. You have the communications class coming up, right?
This is on the 24th. So if you know anybody on Earth that needs to learn to communicate better, it doesn't matter if you're married or whatever, get to Real Communication, Real Results, August 24th, 9 o'clock to 3 p.m. It's at my office in Draper there. You can see it. Just go to matttownsend.com. This is the perfect time. Kids will be back in school. It's just a Saturday till 3 o'clock. You'll learn the basics of communicating.
Love it, Matt. Thank you so much.
Thanks, you guys.
Okay, it's for married people, married, non-married.
Anybody that wants to come. Bring your parole ups.
We'll be back with more after this.